The leaks just keep on rolling through here in the Deadlock community. We've got new information on a Yamato remodel that I have on screen here. We've got some more information about the Venator hero coming up, and as well, some really interesting nuggets of information about a new ARAM mode that will be coming to Deadlock called Street Brawl. I want to cover all of that in this video and more. Hey everyone, this is Connor here at Dead Unlocked, and it's 1:50 a.m. local time right now. The leaks really aren't sleeping, but with everything piling up today, I wanted to do this as soon as I got home, so thank you all so much for tuning in. Let's dive right into all the leaks here so we can keep you all up to date with the latest. All right, so I want to start off here with the Yamato rework that actually got leaked. This I already posted about on our just kind of post section of YouTube here as soon as I saw it, but yeah, this is a supposed rework of Yamato, at least an in-progress one that looks like it. Super cool, totally different direction for the character. You know, it's still Yamato, but definitely does look different. Now, again, this and all the other leaks that we cover here obviously could easily be subject to change, could be incorrect. You know, just the usual leak disclaimers, but I would be hard-pressed to think someone would go through the trouble of doing all this animating for, you know, an Unreal hero or something like that, right? The other thing that we talked about yesterday on the big video that we released, kind of about a bunch of different leaks, are potential remodels for some other heroes as well. So we talked about Sinclair, we talked about Viper, we talked about Viscous, a couple others. So this is a follow-up as well to that video, kind of. So Minesweeper kind of clarifying there is no Sinclair Viper remodel. So again, that's kind of in response to some things we covered yesterday, I think. And this is just a kind of response from Hezi as well. Hezi had covered this previously. There's some leakers in the community. So anyway, so don't expect a Sinclair or Viper remodel, but this Yamato remodel does look really, really sick. Be curious to think what you all think about this one in the comments below. This next one I'm actually super stoked about. This is some more information about Venator, who's a leaked new hero that we've actually covered kind of previously, a few videos back on the channel. Been a lot of leaks lately, so trying to keep up with all of it. But this was leaked via Crayon stream. I think the Yamato remodel actually was also shown on that stream as well. So a lot here. We kind of get an image kind of Venator, obviously. There's some follow-up, though, that this is the abilities we're going to take a look at should be up to date. But the model, however, could be an old one. And this would make sense. Like, the face looks just like the Priest picture that was, I think, from the OG Deathy leak. But let's take a look in particular. I think I've already shown some gameplay footage of Venator in that old video. So if you want to go check that out, for sure, head over there and take a look at it. But we have some more details, at least written out, of the abilities. I'll reformat my screen and let's take a look. All right, so here we've got kind of like an attached Discord exchange, presumably between Sleep and Hezi, two leakers that we've covered on the channel previously. So yeah, let's see what we've got here. 100% changed, significantly including ability icons. On September 29th, Priest Venator has Molly, Bear Trap, Blunderbuss, and Crossbow. So these are the four abilities. I think we've actually shown these off in the gameplay video previous. Again, I'll link to that video so y'all can check it out. But this would line up with, I believe, what we saw there. If I remember correctly, and again, things could have been reworked since that video, but he had some kind of like shield of like crosses around him that alternated. I know there was a pushback, like a blunderbuss kind of shotgun style pushback, and then a really strong charge shot as well, if I remember correctly. Have to go back and take a look at that video though to just confirm. But according, at least in this post, according September 29th, some more information here. Molly is a Molotov. Bear Trap is as it sounds. Blunderbuss will probably be a shotgun like Shiv, but does more damage, pushes you back a little, but also pushes the player back. And if they hit a wall, when they get hit by it, they get stunned for a short period of time. I think I remember seeing that in the gameplay video. Crossbow is a lot of damage. Execute like Vindicta Sight, but seems like it locks on and shoots 3 arrows at a time. Like I said, I think if memory serves, I think I remember at least there being a trope of that in the video. But yeah, all in all, really exciting stuff. We get a lot more about Venator here. We get to see at least some of the splash art, a little bit more about the abilities. No information about a release date here, just to be honest, but again, we're in that kind of pins and needles phase where will we get a Halloween update? Is something more likely going to be coming towards the end of the year or beginning of next year? I think that we're all in kind of that limbo state right now, just kind of where it is in October. Probably expecting some more about the Halloween update, but hey, all these leaks, maybe some more is coming, who knows? But let's take a look at the last thing. I'm really excited about this. More information about an ARAM style game mode that could be coming to Deadlock. All right, so this last leak is again coming from a claim from a leaker called Minesweeper. We've covered a lot of his stuff before, as sort of a track record within the community at this point. Who's ready to queue into Street Brawl? And this obviously just an image of selecting a game mode from within the kind of hideout game selection table, like the little summoning circle you go to queue a new game for. Didn't really know what to make of this when I first saw it. Then we saw a little bit of a retweet here from Sleep. This is in a Discord server. Looks like there's some exchanges happening here. So more about Street Brawl from Minesweeper. And here's where we get into what I think is one of the most exciting pieces of potential information. Again, this is still a leak, unconfirmed, subject to change, blah, 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 all that usual stuff that we have to say along with this. But assuming this is legitimate, or at least could be legitimate, I think this is unbelievably cool and really exciting for Deadlock if this is legitimate. So let's take a look. But yeah, there's two ARAM queues. So this is a ARAM style game mode. For those that don't know what ARAM is, it's all random, all mid is I think what the acronym stands for, but this is a one lane or a single lane, really casual mode in MOBAs where you can kind of just play quicker style games because Deadlock games are obviously longer, more involved, etc. But yeah, there's two ARAM queues. Hyper casual is one. It's a roguelite ARAM version. You make your item build like a roguelite. You get 3 random items from a loot table and you pick which one you want. So cool sounding, right? Like unbelievably cool sounding. Very different way to experience Deadlock is what this would be, right? And then the usual ARAM, regular ARAM is set money, no souls from troopers, I think. So if I'm making sense of this kind of exchange and this information correctly, we're talking about two ARAM queues, one being like this roguelite version where you get 3 random items from a loot table, you pick which one you want, and then you are playing with that. So it's kind of like every time you spawn in, you have a chance at getting any number of things, but there's some RNG involved, that kind of classic roguelite, boot in and do more and more runs and more games kind of thing, right? And then there's another one, which is a regular ARAM, assuming, again, this is probably one lane, right? Or some shorthand version. I actually don't know if it specifies exactly the number of lanes, right? Set money, no souls from troopers. So, again, this would be... Number one, this is all probably either happening in the test server or is just even being talked about being added to the test server that obviously exists for Deadlock right now, but we don't know the exact extent of how this is coming to fruition, even currently in that realm of Deadlock, right? So we have to take a lot of kind of a major grain of salt from this, and I only say it especially with something like this because we have not actually seen anything outside of this image select a game mode, right? In-game about this leak. So I'm very hesitant to cover things like this when it really is just a claim, but I feel like in this situation, we're talking about a leaker that has leaked things previously, obviously in a Discord server that appears to be kind of a place where leaks are shared, right? And this is a subject matter that I think also makes a lot of sense for Deadlock. So much of what we talked about on this channel is like the future of the game modes that could be added, everything you can do to kind of increase the variance of how you play Deadlock, within Deadlock, obviously. So more casual queues, competitive queue, draft, bans. ARAM is a part of that. Like ARAM will inevitably be in this game, and so it really makes sense that it's being developed and worked on now, obviously. But this is our first kind of version, and this is our first real tangible like take of what it really could be like. So it felt like it's worth covering. I just want to say all that because I usually would be hesitant to cover things without any evidence in game. Right, like the stuff we covered yesterday felt very clear cut. These are screenshots of the base, the new patron, all that. I just feel I need to, explain ourselves a little bit how we're going to cover leaks in the channel. This is one of those that's right on that line of do we cover it or not? But because of the people talking about it, because of the evidence we have, it feels okay enough to talk about this as a at least possibility on the channel. Sorry to rant about that, but this would be awesome if it was legit, right? This would be so cool. Like, personally, I really want a more casual way to play Deadlock, especially with friends, some that play more casually than others, right? And, like, getting into a real game can be so overwhelming for some folks that this would just be a very accessible way. And talk about a great way to address one of the reasons I made this channel in the first place was to help the new player experience. And this is absolutely something that really fits into that mold, would help new players come into the game, learn in a more casual way, apply those skills to normal Deadlock games, ranked games, etc. So this is a really, really cool deal. We don't have much to go off of, but I love the idea of it being like a roguelite, and I love there being a more casual ARAM as well. But a lot of questions from here, no doubt, moving forward for Deadlock. And I say that we have a lot of questions moving forward for Deadlock because, in the wake of we have some clear remodeling happening to the game. I mean, we covered a brand new base yesterday. We covered a brand new patron. Obviously, a complete renaming and a kind of the team sides. We have a redoing of the HUD. I'm a big font. I mentioned the fonts yesterday. We've got new fonts. Obviously, remodels happening. Could be a Viscous remodel in the works as well. I don't know if it's going to be the Tourist Viscous or some other version. We have potential new Qs coming. We have Venator being worked on. Boho presumably being worked on as well. There's gameplay footage of that new hero as well in that video I talked about. So, major question is, when are we getting this? So I have some sources kind of in the leak community as well that don't tend to think that we are going to be getting this in October. That there's probably not going to be the same kind of major Halloween update that we all were kind of hoping and expecting there to be, myself included. I certainly thought we would have gotten something, if not a major update by Deadlock standards, at least a sizable seasonal update for Halloween. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case, honestly, anymore. We are already in the 19th of the month. Time is ticking for that to happen, if it's going to happen. If it doesn't, the question really does become, when does all of this get deployed in Deadlock? When do we get the new base? Some of these new redesigns? Do we potentially get a new Q in the next update? Right? All of that is on the table, and all of that right now, if for me to answer when is that happening, is pure speculation. Sources that I've talked to within the community are also, I think, in a speculative way, are guessing maybe like a January 2026 update or a December 2025 update, something around that kind of end of the year, beginning of next year timeline. That would make sense to me, but again, a Halloween update a month ago would have made sense to me. So right, there's this kind of a moving metric, a moving litmus table for when we can expect new things to come to Deadlock. But just to let you all know, right now it is pure speculation. We don't know when any of this is coming, but seeing things in kind of this polished of a state, even if this isn't the final rework for Yamato, there are pretty sizable changes here, and this character does look pretty sick already. Same thing can be said with the new base, the new patron, all those images we showed yesterday. Some of that might not be final, quotes, but there's a serious enough rough draft in place where we have to take some of the things we're seeing right now seriously, especially because, not that we're in a content drought by any means, but the new heroes were in August or end of August, and we are in the kind of mid to end of October, so we do have to kind of wonder what's to come from here. But honestly, I'd be curious what you all think about this one. A lot of leaks. Again, it's 2:08 a.m. here right now. I need to wrap up this video, but thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm going to keep you all updated to the minute as best as I can right now. With work and life, it may not happen as quickly on some days as others, but either way, I appreciate you all tuning in. All the views and subs and everything is really awesome. I just have a lot of gratitude. We just hit 2,000 subs, so a lot of really cool stuff on the channel right now. A lot of really cool stuff in the Deadlock community right now. Leaks are always fun, especially for a game in a state like Deadlock where it's so new, it's so unpolished, and the community's kind of along for the ride. This is exactly the kind of stuff that I love making content about, and I love bringing you guys information about, so we'll definitely keep doing it here on the channel. But let me know what you all think about all this in the comments. As always, thank you all so much for tuning in, and from our house to yours, we'll see you all next time here at Dead Unlocked.